Welcome to the Referrals Podcast, the show designed to help everyone from the solopreneur to the Fortune 500 company win the referral game. If you want to build a company with an army of ambassadors and raving fans who speak highly of you and refer you willingly, you are in the right place. And now, here is your host, Michael J. Maher.
Welcome, everyone, to Referrals Podcast, another amazing episode. This is a very special episode coming to you today. I cannot wait for you to hear this interview. You know, the theme of this is, can you change your life in 30 mornings? Can you change your life in 30 mornings, 30 days? Can you change your life that quickly? Can you change your life? And I think today we're going to answer that question in a big way for many of you. And many of you knew or know that I co-authored The Miracle Morning for Real Estate Agents with Hal Elrod, and that we teach this course called 30 Mornings, where we help people basically develop their ultimate morning ritual. Listen, this is not about getting up earlier. This is about getting up better. And that's a big difference here, is I'm not going to necessarily teach you how to join the 5 a.m. club. If your biorhythm and your clock is on 7:30 a.m., if your clock is on 11:30 a.m., you know what? You can continue to do these rituals when you wake up. So we're going to talk a little bit about the wake up ritual, the morning ritual, but not only that, we might even incorporate a little bit about the nightly rituals that we teach in Sweet Dreams. Now, today is one of those days where when it comes to the podcast, you know, we interview what I would say are almost these not so famous rock stars. And like, we don't interview a lot of Oprah, right? We don't interview Tony Robbins, we have interviewed some amazing people that are somewhat famous. But the theme of this show is real people, real stories, real referrals. And so I went out to my coaches, all of our certified mornings coaches, our certified nights coaches, certified events coaches. And I was like, you know what? I want a transformational story. I want somebody who has really incorporated what we've done, and maybe it's helped their life. Well, what was amazing to me is that I got 40 to 50 names. That's the first thing that was amazing. Just like, I was expecting like 4 names. And a name kept coming up and kept coming up. And it was today's guest. And I cannot wait to tell you the story of this man who has not only made an impact on himself, but has made an impact on my coaches. He's given value back to our coaches in a big way. And how many people out there, or how many scenarios are there out there where the coaches are saying, I got as much value from this person as I've given to them from coaching and helping them. And that's what we have here today. So I cannot wait to share this story with you. I can't wait for him to share his story with you. And let's answer the question, can you change your life impactfully, profoundly in 30 mornings? And that's what we're going to answer today. I have to give a shout out real quick to Scott Edwards, our lender in California. He just texted me yesterday. He just had his event Saturday. And he texted me yesterday and said, it says boom, and then it has mind blown. So that's a good start to a text message. I mean, we're emoji friendly here at the Referrals Podcast. 297 referrals and tons of new people came I've never met. He obviously used the bring a friend strategy straight out of Event Mastery. Check that out at eventmastery.com. But 297 referrals. Could you use 297 referrals? Check out eventmastery.com. Check out RMA. Check out what we do. And by the way, this is your invitation to all of you to do a couple of things. One, if you are not a part of the Generosity Generation, this is a special invitation to you to join the Generosity Generation. It is a private group on Facebook, so you must have heard about it from here. It is joingengen.com, joingengen.com, joingengen.com. You've got to answer 2 or 3 questions to get in, but once you are in, you are in, and you are part of the Generosity Generation, one of the biggest, most valuable groups in the world on love, generosity, and appreciation. We're here to help, and we have so many people in there to help, almost 10,000 people in there helping each other do better business, and that's what we love to do. Now, the second thing is, are you coming to RMS 22? Now, this is actually a reminder for those of you that are going to RMS 22 is we're sold out. So I don't even know why I'm bringing this up necessarily for the rest of you, but it's one of the rms22.com. You can check it out. If you are not going, it says here that we have a handful of tickets. So I'm not sure about that, but if you're interested, go to support@referco.com. Let them know that you are interested in going to RMS 22. It's December 13th through the 15th. No, not even a hurricane could stop us. It did delay us, but it can't stop us. December 13th through the 15th in beautiful Orlando, Florida. And if you have not seen the theme parks during the holidays, you're missing out. It's a great opportunity to take the family, write it off as a business trip, go to RMS 22, learn a ton about getting referrals. Scott Edwards will be there speaking. He just got 297 referrals. Don't you want to know how he did that? He's going to explain step by step exactly how he generated almost 300 referrals in one day, by the way. So I have to give a thanks to our sponsors for RMS, Amerifirst Mortgage, Red Door Title, Luna Computing, T. Dos Santos, who is a videographer, Your Realty Leverage with Brindley, love Brindley, Happy Grasshopper, of course, with Dan Stewart, and Shawami is also our newest and latest, greatest, awesome sponsor for RMS 22. Great sponsors, and that leads us to our great guest here today who has been patiently awaiting. And Haryn Kreitner is our guest today. He was born in Brooklyn, New York, and at a young age he moved to Florida, and he now calls Orlando, of all places, his hometown. He lives with his beautiful wife of 27 years, Debbie, who is a Jersey girl. We'll maybe talk about that a little bit. And their Shih Tzu, Lola, which is a dog, by the way, for those of you that don't know, in the North Atlanta suburb of Alpharetta, Georgia, where he practices real estate. Haryn attended the University of Florida and the prestigious Florida International University School of Hospitality Management. We all know it as the Cornell of the South. After a long career in hospitality management, Haryn got his license and transitioned into real estate. That was 15 years ago, and he hasn't looked back. His Haryn, Haryn, Homes, HOMES.com site, you got to check it out, check him out. And his charitable giving includes the Wounded Warrior Project and the United Way. But to really know Haryn, you just spell his name as an acronym. And as you know, we here at the Generosity Generation love acronyms. And we love the name game, Stephanie Havel. Thank you for bringing that into our world. And it is helpful, authentic, responsive, yes, I can attitude. And N is for never gives up. I'm telling you, we need to welcome to Referrals Podcast, Mr. Haryn Kreitner. Welcome, Haryn.
Thank you so much, Michael. I'm excited to be here. My story is such that, I found you back in March of 2020 during COVID. You spoke to our office and it resonated with me. And I said, I have to go read that book again, 7L. And I did. And ever since then, it just, I've moved forward with a lot of the principles that in 7L that you teach, and member of the Generosity Generation. And for me, I was lost. I was one of those that didn't know what to do, how to do it. I froze. And, the rituals that we're going to talk about today have helped me, get back into growth mode and to be a better person. And I'm just very thankful.
Well, thank you for that. I appreciate that. And I thank your office for having me out. That was before, I believe, that was around like maybe Gen Atlanta, or I'll have to go back and check what exactly.
March of 2020, right when COVID hit,
Yeah,
everything shut
literally
down.
was
Yeah.
that was my last speaking engagement of the year. I did not speak again in 2020. It was March 6th, I believe, and then March 13th was when the lockdown happened. So interesting how that works sometimes. I'm glad I came to your office. And so, all right, so what we're going to focus on today is rituals and developing this ritual for success. And Haryn, the first question I have to ask is were you like a ritual person before you kind of came into the 7L and Gen? Were you a ritualized type of person, or did you just kind of wing it and kind of go through it like a leaf that's falling in the fall?
I kind of like bright, shiny objects and kind of like see what stuck, moving from one thing to the next. But, we have these programs that, you just, with coaches, and that you follow gently, they gently guide you, and they're available to answer questions. And there is no secret sauce. It's not like, hey, take the course in 30 days. And yes, you are going to change your life, but you're going to move it forward, because every day is a new adventure. You're going to change things up, and every day is just going to be a new adventure for you. But you are going to have specific things every day that you're going to do on a daily basis when you break it down. So, yeah.
Yeah, love that. I mean, I used to own the domain shinysquirrel.com because it was kind of the shiny object syndrome, and I actually had a silver or chrome squirrel made that we were going to give as an award to the person who like had the shiny object syndrome and the shiny squirrel, squirrel, and then they were off to do that, and we were going to give it to the person who most conquered the shiny squirrel syndrome, and I think a lot of us have the opportunity to kind of chase shiny objects and get distracted by squirrels. And when we come focus, it can be a huge difference maker for us. So let's talk about habit, specifically about morning rituals. And what does your morning ritual look like at this point?
Well, obviously, for people who don't know, it's savers. Okay. When I started 30 mornings, I did everything right down the line. Now it's evolved to maybe stacking some of those things and doing two things at once and going a little bit deeper into any of the savers. But it kind of breaks down to, I'm up at 5:45. I wake up, my alarm clock's on the other side of the room. So I pop up out of bed. So I'm not, hitting the snooze alarm. Do a little stretching, drink some lemon water. I mean, all of these things, we're taught or asked to do. I'm brushing my teeth, splashing some water on my face. And I like to hit my affirmations first and say them out loud. I just think that, to kind of get myself going.
All right, let me stop you there real quick, right? Because what you just described is the absolute hardest part. It really, the hardest part is waking up at a regular time for most people. Mm-hmm. And so I think one thing that I don't want to gloss over is in 30 mornings, we literally coach you every day. It's everyday coaching for 30 days. So in January, we have 30 mornings. And so Monday, you're going to be coached. And we're going to meet, and we're going to talk to you about silence in a lot of cases, right? And a bedtime affirmation and, a wake up routine. But it's one of those where, for those of you that don't know, SAVERS is the acronym. Now I add an extra A from what Hal teaches, and the SAVERS that I teach, or we teach in 30 mornings, is S is for silence, which is silent time, quiet time. It can be meditation. It can be prayer. It can be walking in nature, whatever it feels for you. And then we have the 2 A's, which is for affirmations, which is positive self-talk, I am statements, I am and or something more. And then we talk about the other A is appreciations, which I see as a huge part of the morning and a huge part of the nightly rituals. Appreciations are, I appreciate blank because of. And I have this belief that what you appreciate appreciates. The more you appreciate what you have, the more you'll have of it. And the more you'll get in the future. It appreciates or goes up and grows in your life. And then the V is visualization. And I'm a huge believer in visualization. I could tell you story after story about things that have come true for me, but I'm not going to dive into that right now. The E is for exercise, and we're not talking, full bore 2-hour workouts unless that's what's up for you. It could be a 15-minute walk. And then could be yoga, could be stretching, and I know that those two are big for me and Sherry. And then the R is for reading, and we truly believe that in the morning ritual you should read nonfiction, business books, motivational type of books that are nonfiction. And then the S is for scribing or scribbling, and that is essentially journaling and writing down your thoughts and notes, which I'm a huge believer in it in the morning, and I'm also a huge believer in it at night, is just kind of vent, frustrate, or write your thoughts in the evening or in the morning. And when you get that out of your head, it's amazing how much your head can fill with good ideas and brilliance moving forward. And so savers is silence, affirmations, appreciation, visualization, exercise, reading, and scribing. So Haryn, I appreciate you going into that. So right off the bat, what made you choose 5:45? Why not 5 a.m.? Why not 7 a.m.? How did you come about the 5:45 number?
Well, it really was 7:30 for me. That was my time.
Yep.
But again, the course kind of, we back, through the 30 days, we back up the time every week. So it just happened that, the last week, the time was good. And I said, let's back it up another 15. So it's good. It works. It works for me. And
I love that. I mean, so what we do in the course, too many people. And I will tell you, there is one of our coaches who did this, and they were getting up like at 8 or so, and they went straight to 5 o'clock. Well, they ended up getting really sick because it was such a huge, they weren't getting enough sleep, and it was such a huge adjustment on the body that it shocked them, and it shocked their immune system to the point where they ended up getting sick. And the 5 a.m. thing was just too radical. But what we do in 30 mornings, and I don't want to make this a giant 30 mornings. This is just science. Why do we teach in 30 mornings? Because we need to ease our body into anything. Like a cold tub. You don't go and do a cannonball into a cold, like a 50-degree tub, right? You could have a heart attack if you do that. You don't want to do that. But what you can do is kind of just step in and gradually get in until you're setting in a 50-degree cold tub, which normally you wouldn't even be able to get into. Well, we go 15 minutes earlier every week. So if the class starts at 7:30, the second week's going to start at 7:15. The third week's going to start at 7. The third week's going to start at 7 or 6:45, and then it's going to end at the last week will be 6:30, and then you take it from there. But once again, this is not about getting up earlier; it's about getting up better. Right. And exactly. So Haryn chose 5:45, but he could have chosen 7:30, and we wouldn't care. And he would be just fine. So that's why I asked why 5:45. I love that. Yep. So lemon water, which is there. Now there's like 23. If we started out, there were what are the 7 benefits of lemon water in the morning? Now there are 23 benefits. What are the 23 benefits of lemon water in the morning? So you've incorporated that. You've brushed your teeth to wake up. You do your affirmations in the morning. And is that what's on your board? You had showed a board in the.
No, these are just I have this in on the wall, and these are things that I look at in the morning when I do my affirmations, and I kind of pull one out every day to kind of like my mantra, like today's was learning is not growing, right? Mm-hmm. Implementing is growing. Wow. Even if I fail, okay, I'm still growing. Okay. So I choose one of these every day to kind of, along with, getting up early, getting up and better and, taking me through the day.
Yeah. So I love that. And I love that mantra or quote of the day. Where'd you get all those? And just so everybody knows that's not watching right now, and maybe you're listening, is he just showed a huge, probably 24 by 36 board with Post-its, and it's filled with Post-it notes. And Haryn, do you mind taking a picture of that, and maybe taking pictures of the different corners of it, and we can share that at referralspodcast.com? Would that be okay?
I sure will.
Okay. Where did you get the quotes of the day? Where do you get all those?
Some of them are from, the Daily Dose, that, the podcast. Some of them are, you teach. A lot of it is, some polyisms.
Yeah. Named after Pauly Dominich, one of our certified mornings coaches.
Right.
Yeah.
And I just, anything that resonates, like I just kind of put it on a Post-it note. One that's already around, Jen and another coach will tell you, is that I found in reading a book, and it's like, it says, messy success is better than perfect procrastination,
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean,
truthfully.
So,
yeah. And all success is pretty messy on the way, right? Typically, there's got to be failures along the way most of the time. If they're just success, was it really a success? Were you really pushing yourself farther than you could go in the first place? So, all right. So your wake up routine, I love it. You've kind of gone to where you've described to the point of your affirmations. Tell me chronological what happens after your affirmations. You've splashed water in your face, cold water in your face. You've brushed your teeth. You've drunk the lemon water. What's next?
Yeah. I like to go into silence and prayer. Prayer for thankness. The silence kind of quiets the mind, to move forward with positivity.
Where do you go for that? Where do you go for that?
Prayer, I have a prayer book. Silence is, I just sit quietly and just do some breathing.
Is it bedroom or is it downstairs? Is it out on a back deck? Do you have a place every day or no?
I've got a spot in my living room that I like,
okay.
To enjoy it. And then, or it could be meditation. I like to do the body scan from head to toe.
Mm-hmm.
I like things very simple. This isn't I don't feel it's very complicated, but these are things that, are gradually wake me up to give me the energy that I need for the day.
So explain the body scan meditation in a minute or two for those that aren't familiar with it.
So the body scan is just, you're breathing in and you're breathing out, and you're starting from the top of your head and feeling it go, through your face, in your shoulders, out to your fingers, just all the way kind of down. And then you come all the way back up again. And I will tell you that, call me crazy, but there have been days that I've had an ache or pain or two, and you kind of do that scan, and it's like gone.
It's a
mind thing. It's a mind thing.
It is. It's a mind-body thing. It's almost like aligning the tires on your car in a way. It's like the car just rides better, and you're like, I'm not sure if they did anything, but it just seems like the car rides better. So, all right. So after you're doing the silence and the prayer meditation, what goes next for you?
Then it's since I'm already in the living room, the exercise clothes are right there. And it's out the door for a 15-20 minute walk, and then I like to use a 7-minute workout as well. And I've learned to stack. Okay, so now I'm also have earbuds and I'm listening to a podcast, Referrals podcast, shameless plug, or while I'm walking, because then I'll tell you that a lot of the 30 mornings, it was a chore and a stretch when I first started, but it's like every day, you get better at it and you feel better. My hand. Could I walk 30 minutes the first day? No, I couldn't. Okay. But it's like every day it's, I set my phone on 15 minutes and I today was like 70 because I just felt good. Had the earbuds on, listening to the podcast. So it's a change. It's a good change.
Yeah, it sounds like a fantastic change. And I think I love what you said earlier about our coaches is gently guiding. And that if there is one thing that we do that I think is we meet people where they are and then gently guide them through growth rather than we're not a massive action coaching company. We get massive results. I just shared that 300 referrals. But we're much more into this pack and stack simple on top of each other, like savers, right? And like you're doing with the walk and listen, you could walk and just not listen to something and just do the walk or run or whatever it is. But why not feed your mind while you're feeding your body?
But that's how I did it. That's how I did it. I went through each one, and when I walked, when I first started, it was a chore. It was like, oh man, 14 minutes, 15 minutes. And then it's like anything else, you learn, right? And it's like life. You're at an acronym: learn, implement, fail forward, and evaluate. So then that's when the earbuds came on. It's like, 17 minutes, 18 minutes. So
All right. So
and this isn't.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I'm sorry. This isn't like, playing mind games with yourself. This is just, what can I do every day to improve a little bit?
That's right. That's right. The 1 degree tweak, right? What is the 1 degree tweak, this week or today? All right. So you've exercised and then you go inside. What's next?
It's a little bit of cool down, a little bit of breakfast. And then I like to write my affirmations and appreciations. Okay. I've said my affirmations to make myself feel good, but I need to write them and see them. Okay. Because I can see them if I want to. I can see them throughout the day. And
you're committed to affirmations, right? You're committed. I mean, you're doing them twice. So you're doing one verbally, and you're doing one writing. Which of course all the stuff we talk about in 30 Mornings about the power of writing things because it's like etching into your brain when you write something.
I stopped biting my nails because of affirmations.
Yeah, wow.
I mean, I was a nail biter down to the nub. And I just one day said, let me write an affirmation around this and say, I will not bite my nails because, and after 6 weeks, I will get myself a manicure. And I did. I want to give a shout out to Kim Green Spencer, who wanted to send me some money to get that manicure. And that's just part of the generosity generation, isn't it? It's
Kimmy's so good.
Just out of the top. It's like, hey, let me buy you your thing. It's like, no, it's okay. But I love her.
Part of the win is you buying it at this point, right? I mean, you know what I mean?
Exactly,
so it's like, it's like an investment in yourself at that point. But Kimmy's intentions were phenomenal as they always are. And Kimmy's going to be on a future podcast.
I'm looking forward to that.
All right. So you've written out your affirmations and your appreciations. I appreciate blank because of what's after that.
And then I scribe. I go into the book, into the journal, and I write out some thoughts. Where I'm just using my book for example. But what are my goals today? What do I want to accomplish? To set me forward. And then I use that, to study, what happened this week, what went right, what went wrong, again, to kind of move myself and forward. So
I love that. All right. So you've made a lot of changes in a couple of years. What are the results? Like, we can talk all the time about, changing and doing these things. And like, some of it can just be flat out just entertaining yourself or fooling yourself. But if you're not getting any results, is it being productive? Is it actually working? Right. But, how do you feel different? How do you think different because of this ritual that you've incorporated?
Well, I think I go about my day more positive. I try to, I do actually. walk away from the negativity,
Mm-hmm.
and just focus on what it is I want to accomplish. My On the business side, because I've always talked about personal, but on the business side, my pipeline is filling. I'm having better conversations with people, and I'm applying more of the concepts in 7L, like networking. I used to go into a network and try to meet everybody. Now,
Mm-hmm.
we have the system where it's like, hey, call up the person who's doing the networking event, and who are the top 3 people that I want to meet. And that's important. That's growth. It's like, I'll meet some other people, but I want to meet the best people,
Yeah.
and then follow up with them, possibly to do the one-on-one. And so I'm learning to do those kind of things, and learning to do business better and more positive.
So if I had a bottom line it from a professional standard, are you doing more business?
I'm working on doing more business.
Okay. Okay. Did you have a good year?
Um, I think so.
Okay.
Going to be better next year.
Yeah. Okay. And all right. So what difference has staying positive made for you?
Um, I just think that it's much better to smile than frown. It
Yeah.
just it's you know um, and it's not longer anymore. I can't. I get those bad words out of my mouth. Out of my
Hmm.
mouth. I can't. It's I will, or I can. That's a big change for me. It used to always be like, well, we can't do this, or I can't do this because. Well, now it's like,
Hmm.
I can do this because, or I will do this because. And and then if I do this, what's going to what's going to happen, in the future. So,
So your pipeline's more full than ever. So
yes.
what's the power of that? What's the positive of that to you?
Well, it's, I have goals and things that I want to accomplish. One of the things is, in my bio is the last one was, uh, yeah, be more charitable in my giving.
Hmm.
Uh, Put away, I'm getting up in years, like more, get ready for retirement,
Yep.
in 10 years. So, and just be more grateful and appreciative to others. I love going to the grocery store and just, let me buy this for you, or paying the toll for the next person behind me. Um, so,
So you say you're also having better conversations.
mhm.
So what does that mean? Describe better conversations. What does that mean to you?
um, I used to be more of a, hey, let me jump right in, and I'm a better listener, because I think when you let people talk, you can ask better questions. When
Hmm.
you ask better questions, you get better results.
Hmm. Yeah, I love that for sure. And how would you um, how would you just so let's say you're talking to a friend about 30 mornings, right? Specifically 30 mornings. What what would you tell them? What would you tell them about the class?
Um, I would, tell him that talk to that person and say, listen, I get there. What if I could tell you that there's a way for you to get up better, be more positive, have a little bit more energy, and and get through your day in a positive way, rather than dreading, uh, getting up and figuring out what you're going to do. What if there's a way that, when you walk out the door in the morning, that you know what you're going to do. You're
Hmm.
not thinking about it on the car ride. Like, okay, what am I going to do today?
Right.
Because you already know. Yeah.
Yeah, you're a little bit more proactive than
Mm.
reactive, which is
Yes.
energizing and energetic.
Yes.
Um, love that. And so I mean, I have a question for the listener and viewer almost right now is that like Haryn is a realtor in Alpharetta, Georgia. By the way, his website is harynhomes.com, HARYNHOMES.com. For those of you interested in reaching out to him personally, I'd encourage it. But here's the thing, like in listening to Haryn, is he more or less referable from what you've heard? You know, this is real people, real stories, real referrals. And one of the first challenges that we all have is being referable. And I truly believe being referable is a three-part process. And one is character development, being honest, having integrity, doing what you say you're going to do, that kind of thing, and character. The second C of referability is competence, being really good at what you do. You know, contract, negotiation, the paperwork, the process, the being available, and the customer service, and all that. And then the third aspect of referability is communication, being a communicator. So I have to ask those that are listening or viewing is does Haryn seem more referable based on what you've heard? And I would have to say that it's a unanimous yes to everybody, because we don't want to refer curmudgeons. We don't want to refer negative people. We want to refer people that are positive and happy and energetic, and people who are paying the toll for people, people who are paying for the next person in line to get coffee, or somebody's buying flowers, you buy them for them, or whatever it may be. And so I think that as his business increases, we have to realize that a part of this is this combination of health, wealth, and happiness. So, let's talk about health. Haryn, have you seen any health gains in the last couple of years? Or, were you like me with COVID-19? You thought the COVID-19 was the COVID-19 challenge, and the challenge was to gain 19 pounds during COVID, right? Because I achieved that. Of course, I've lost 40 since then, but,
Right.
I know that COVID was tough on me and my body. But where are you health-wise as compared to when you started with 30 mornings?
So, I went to the doctor and I had a physical, and, the doctor says, you're okay, but your levels are right at borderline. You're in the range of borderline. I didn't like that.
When was this?
This is a year ago. So in the last 90 days, I've actually kind of really hit it, took more action. And I've dropped 30 pounds in the last 90 days.
Wow.
Very simple, cut out, the things that, don't work well for me. Bread, candy, and drinking, water is not an issue anymore, because I got water bottles everywhere in the house. My wife's like, stop with the water bottles. But it's like, every
it's a health thing. Yeah, it's a health thing. Yeah.
Right. So I, drinking more water, now with adding in exercise, and I'm feeling a lot better health-wise.
You look fantastic, by the way.
One of my I'm sorry. One of my goals is actually, part of the, and I'm not really good at visualization, but I'm getting better at it. So I said, and I visualize myself. I can't go into the store and buy off the rack. The selections are very limited. Waist size, this and in between. But my goal is to go into a store and just like, wow, look, they got plenty, for me to choose from. So that's one of my goals. I'm very excited about that. So
yeah, I love that. I love that. I know you've lost weight, and congratulations on that. 30 pounds in 90 days is an outstanding achievement. And, I think if I have an overarching comment through all of this is that too many people go through life and life is implemented on them. Like they're kind of the leaf in the wind, and the wind controls their life. And then you've got the trees, right? And the trees are the implementers. And you have become an implementer. And how does that happen, right? What I love about what we do is you implement one thing like silence or affirmations, and then you find that you feel better and you do better. And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, I can do this and it'll be okay. Well, pretty soon you're doing things like you've climbed to this point of implementing a lot of the 7L strategies that you've read a few times before, but you never implemented them because you either weren't ready for them, or you just weren't an implementer at that time. And now you're an implementer. So you're starting to, and I will tell you that I'm betting on the implementer. The implementer is going to be the one who wins over the one who thinks about things or waits until they feel right or that kind of thing. So I think one of the other positives of a ritual that's so key is we learn the power of stacking habits and stacking good things. With your wake up routine and your morning ritual, you could add something to it, like the visualization. You can add better visualization to it. You could add lifting weights to it. You could, because you already have good habits. And I've spoken about this before, like with my son is, we wanted him to develop a few of these good habits. Well, he did really well at brushing his teeth at night. So the next was, what's he do with his contacts, and what's he do with, cleaning his face, and we could just say, oh, this is your new nightly ritual. Here's 20 things to do. No, it was like, all right, you brush your teeth, you do this with your contacts, right? You put them in this special trash can and you that kind of thing. And when you have a good habit, you can stack off of it. And that's the beauty of this is now you can stack these great habits on top of each other, and it's going to lead to better conversations, lead to being happier, lead to being more energetic, which leads to more referrals. I love that. Okay. So Sweet Dreams, you've taken Sweet Dreams as well?
Yes, took the very first one, that you taught, and the second one. I love Sweet Dreams too. Let me just go back and
yeah.
So one of the things that I chose over the last 18 months really was, I don't want to make this about the book, but we have the one to none, which is self-mastery.
That's right.
And then we have the one to one, and then we have the one to many, which is events. And I chose to focus on and master self-mastery. So I have the Sunday night ritual. I have the nightly ritual, and I have the morning ritual, and I really don't have an office, so the afternoon ritual is so I've chosen that. So the nighttime ritual just gives me better sleep, and again, it's your last thoughts are what you're going to dream about and think about, so it kind of puts it together, like, okay, I'm going to get good sleep. I'm doing some appreciations and affirmations at night. And the other thing that I love about the nighttime is I love shutting down at 10 o'clock. I mean, everything goes off. And it's like, I kiss my wife and say, honey, she goes, I know it's dim time. Thank you. I read something good, something fun and enjoyable, 5-6 pages, and go through the steps and I keep, I check the boxes. We have a checklist to kind of keep yourself accountable to those kind of things. And I really do like the Sweet Dreams piece.
Yeah. Well, for those of you that are listening, we teach 30 mornings in January, and then we follow it with Sweet Dreams in February. There's a reason for that. What we truly believe is he talked about the 3 pillars of the referral mastery system, and that is one to none, which is self-mastery, one to one, which is relationship mastery, your relationship with one other person at a time, and then the one to many, which is the event mastery strategy, which I talked about earlier with Scott. And it's with self-mastery, it's rituals, it's time management, it's mindset, it's your minutes, it's what you do as far as how you improve yourself and becoming more referable and just being awesome, right? That's what I love about it. It's just, and you have 100% control over self-mastery. That's what I love about it, is 100% control. You don't, in a one-to-one, you don't always have control over how they react, right? You only have a control of how you respond to how they react. Well, it's one of those where there's a reason we do this in January and February every year, is because we want people to start off with making these positive changes with themselves, and fly is first love yourself. And we truly believe for you to fly in life, to go to the next level, you've got to first love yourself. When you love yourself and take care of yourself, then it's easier to love on others and take care of others. And I'm so glad we went to this January, February 30 mornings Sweet Dreams combo, because there's a lot of Haryns out there that have done the same thing that are coming back to us and just like, this has been the biggest change I ever made in my life, and I'm happier for it, I'm healthier for it, and I'm wealthier for it. So that's awesome. I really appreciate that. And I think another is like, you joined Gen March of 2020, which is,
Yes.
that's when we started the daily dose.
Right.
And so, what is there anything else you'd like to share about joining joining the Generosity Generation, and doing the classes that we talk about in Referral Mastery Academy, 30 mornings, and we 9 other classes that we teach in Referral Mastery Academy, including Sweet Dreams and March Magic and Summerfest and November and business, Event Mastery.
Yeah.
So,
right. I just want to say that, the Generosity Generation, it's like, it's a safe space. Okay. I can ask any question within reason and get an answer from a lot of people. I feel like, now remember, we were in shutdown. I haven't met a lot of these people, but I feel like I know a lot of these people, okay, on a deeper level, okay? And if I need help with rituals, if I need help with business, if I need help with pretty much anything, I feel confident enough that I could put it out there on the Generosity Generation, and somebody somewhere will be able to guide me in the right direction. And I'm very thankful. I'm very, very appreciative to the Generosity Generation and to you, Michael, because you're the leader. You're the guy that let's go. That gets us going. And
funny choice of phrases there. I think I thought my epitaph was going to be like, love, generosity, and appreciation. If you gave Michael an ounce of interest, he gave you a ton of love. I had it all written out. I had it perfect at 12 word. But I get so many, because on our masterminds and our classes that I teach, somebody will share it and it's like, let's go. Like, and so that has been the thing. Like Kevin Hadoba just literally 2 hours ago. Like, he's like, I love it when you say "let's go" on your event.
I'm going to copyright that and sell T-shirts.
Man, I'm telling you, it's like it's kind of become the phrase that pays,
Right.
So what else would you like to share about? By the way, are you going to RMS 22?
I'll be there, front row, Mr. Front Row, right here.
Oh, you're an ambassador. You upgraded.
Right.
You're big time. I love that. And you know what? That doesn't surprise me.
Well, here's another concept you taught us. If you want to be bigger and better, be in a bigger room.
That's right.
And that's where I'm at. One of the reasons why I'm going to RMS. I want to be in that bigger room and share with people that are bigger than me to keep moving.
I love it. You know what I love about that is I also know that you're going to be there for the ambassador dinner that night,
right.
Wednesday night. And I'm going to model the board of advisors, the board of ambassadors strategy. And that, I think that's a home run for you. So I just think that's, I'm excited that you're going to be in the room for when we go through that. So that's really cool.
I am, and I appreciate it. Thank you very, very, very much.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, if you didn't get anything out of this, then you're probably listening to the wrong podcast. Self-mastery, right? We talked about, Haryn, do you believe that you can change your life in 30 mornings?
Absolutely. And the thing is, it's again, it's you're not going to go from 0 to 100, but you are going to move the meter to keep wanting to get to 100. Absolutely. Totally.
So I think we've answered that for today. For at least Haryn or myself, can you change your life in 30 mornings? The answer is yes, you can. And what I hope today is hopefully you got enough curiosity to go check out 30mornings.com, 30mornings.com. Maybe even join Referral Mastery Academy, which allows you to take 30 mornings, Sweet Dreams, and all of our other classes for just a very, very low monthly. And I think it's one of those where no matter what, even if you don't join RMA or don't join us for 30 mornings or Sweet Dreams, what I hope you get out of this today is the power of ritual. I am such a ritualized guy. I didn't used to be. I used to be disorganized. I used to be just literally waking up and whatever the world had in store for me, I was good. I did have some natural positivity in me. But I also had some natural negativity in me too, and some big time doubts. And I've overcome those doubts because of a morning ritual, because of positive affirmations, because of, some of these rituals. I just got back from a baseball camp that I played in. It was a 7-game tournament, and I'm 53 years old. I don't share that with a lot of people, but I'm pretty old. And I hit one out of a minor league park at this baseball tournament. And by the way, it was a 3-run bomb in the first inning of the championship game. And they've only had 5 balls hit out during this tournament ever. And I was one of them, and I'm the oldest one to hit one out. And you might think, well, he must be really good at baseball. The only reason that happened is that I thought it could. I believed that I could hit one out. Because if you don't believe you can hit one out, you know what you do? You hit ground balls, you hit singles, you hit line drives. But I had this thought in my mind that I can hit one out. Now, did I go for it every time? No. I did go for it once, and I ended up popped up. One of the 4 outs I made during the week was me trying for a home run. But when I knew I could, and the circumstances were right, I hit an absolute bomb, 400 feet in baseball, off a live pitcher with a wood bat in a real game, at a real stadium. And I will tell you that without affirmations, without visualization, without exercise, for dang sure, without maybe reading, I would have never, I'm actually getting a little emotional just thinking about all this, the life changes that have happened for me personally because of lessons I've learned and implemented. And I'm not saying that you go through 30 mornings, all of a sudden you're going to lose 30 pounds in 90 days. I'm not saying that you're going to be able to hit a ball 400 feet. But maybe you will. What is 30 pounds in 90 days for you? Whatever that goal is, maybe you can achieve it. Maybe you can get closer to it because you've gone through this really powerful mindset class. And it's not just mindset. It's physical. It's structural. It's professional. It's community. It's mental. It's mentors. So I just want to kind of leave it with that thought is that, can you change your life in 30 mornings? And the absolute answer is yes, you can. And I hope you join us. If you don't, I understand. But if you want to start the year off in a bang, with a bang, and you want to really start taking control of your life and not worrying about the chaos that's going on out there with the noise of the election, with the noise of the economics, with the noise of the interest rates, that's all just noise. You don't have any control over any of that. Take control over what you can take control over. And that is your day, your rituals. And we'll help you do it for those of you that want us to. And we're here to help.
Absolutely.
So, Haryn, I just want to say thank you so much for being our guest today on Referrals Podcast. So enlightening and so inspiring. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Michael. Thanks to everybody. I very, very much appreciate it. Been fun.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been an amazing podcast, a very special edition today. Hopefully you got 1 or 2 things out of it. I hope you did. Remember, this invitation to join GenGen, join the Generosity Generation is open to you. JoinGenGen.com. Go there, apply, answer the 3 questions. We'll let you in most likely, and you're going to join a community that is here to help you go to the next level in self-mastery, relationship mastery, and event mastery, which leads to more referrals and better life for all of you. I want to just say thank you so much for tuning in here today. And I will tell you, I already know what the next podcast is. And if you like today, your jaw is going to drop for the next one. So we'll see you on the next episode of Referrals Podcast. Love you all. See you next time.